Hey, what up, guys? Just been chilling the past day watching movies still, and I watched 3 movies back to back. That was another little franchise, I guess you could call it, or a trilogy at this point. But yeah, I watched them all back to back because I hadn't seen them for a while. And well, part 3 of this I actually haven't seen since yesterday at all, so it was a first time watch. But yeah, this was a little franchise I wanted to get out of the way too, so might as well. First one is Hostel 1. I saw this in theaters when this came out, I don't know, 2006. And this movie actually was one of a life-changing movie for me, just because this was one of the first, not first, but this is a horror movie that I loved. It was being lumped in with Saw, but I love this movie with a passion. It automatically catapulted Eli Roth into one of the best horror directors of all time to me. But yeah, when this movie came out, it was just it was shocking to me. I remember friends and stuff. It was the movie where they were like, "Oh, have you seen Hostel yet?" and all that, and so I rushed out to see it. I actually had the old DVD of it, and that was one of my most watched DVDs in my collection for a long time. But yeah, I mean, basically, I'm sure everybody knows the story by now. Backpackers go to Europe looking for this crazy, sexual vacation or whatever. They're traveling cross country just to party and all that, and basically get lured into like a hostel, and there's rich people that pay money to basically torture you and kill you, and that's basically it. You're getting sold on the black market pretty much. It's like a hunter's club, and Eli Roth's directing in this, I really like. He portrays these people as like frat, kind of annoying douchebag type characters, and it works too because I don't know. You want to see the gore and the people. Well, for the most part, you don't. To me, at least, I didn't care if they were getting tortured in the movie, just because. I mean, I didn't really like any of the characters, to be honest. But the main guy at the end, you do like his character towards the end because he does show actual compassion and stuff. But the effects to this movie were top notch. The atmosphere top notch. I wouldn't be a perfect movie in my book, but I don't like the aspect of those little kids who are actually in the whole series pretty much, which I really don't like. But I definitely recommend Hostel. I'm sure everybody's seen it, but if you've never seen Hostel, you really need to get up on that because it's almost a perfect film. 9.5, I'd say. So I guess we'll move on to Hostel 2. I don't like it as much as Hostel 1, but I do still really enjoy it. I didn't see it in theaters, but I just realized yesterday, though, I've seen this movie probably 10, 15 times. I don't know the exact amount, but a lot. And I just noticed that one of the main 3 girls was the hitchhiker from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake, which is pretty cool. But I never noticed that before until yesterday. But it's basically kind of the same story, except it's reversed to females traveling, and they're not really looking for sexual, vacation or whatever. They're actually doing art stuff and all that. So you do feel more sympathy for them, especially because one of the girls is like, the nerdy one supposedly or something, where they don't want to chill with. They feel bad for her. So you do have more sympathy for the people in this movie, but it's not as entertaining. It's a lot of the same thing. I mean, even the guy who, or the torture and stuff, the scenes are cool. There's the scene where the chick's laying down, cutting the dude up, and I mean, overall, Hostel 2 is pretty forgettable because, I mean, it's alright. It's whatever. It goes good with the first one, but the first one is really, the crown jewel of this franchise. But, as far as this Blu-ray double feature goes for Mill Creek, it was only like $5, so I wasn't too worried about it. But it says this is the unrated director's cut of Hostel 1, which when you pop it in, it's not. It's the theatrical cut with I'm not gonna say the ending, but the theatrical cut of this. But the thing is, on the last chapter of the movie, it has the audio of the director's cut, so you're seeing if you've seen the director's cut and the theatrical cut, you'll know the differences. But there's intense stuff going on during the theatrical cut, but you're having the calming audio from the director's cut, so it is a really annoying and takes you out of it. But it's only for like the last 3 minutes. But I am gonna have to pick up Hostel 1 on Blu-ray or something singly, just because it will drive me insane watching it again. But that's the only gripe I have about this double feature. Hostel 2 is untouched, it's good. But the thing is, I haven't heard anybody else say they had that problem. And I've seen a lot of people picking this release up recently, so I may have just got a bad one out of the batch. But yeah, but for $5, I mean, can't complain too much. And Hostel 3, this is the one I never saw. I didn't expect much. It's a straight to DVD one. Eli Roth has nothing to do with it as far as I know, and it didn't have a Blu-ray release for some reason. It was only a DVD, but they had Blu-ray releases in other regions, so I don't understand all that. But this movie, basically, to me, I'd describe it as Hostel 1 mixed with The Hangover, because the beginning's the same almost. You have the people going to pick up the other people for a bachelor party in Las Vegas, and they're out partying, doing all this crazy stuff, and they basically end up getting kidnapped. And the hostel, thing. They basically just torture them and stuff, but it feels different. It's almost like a game show, or it's not a show, but the rich people are all in a room together, which we never saw in the first two, which is kind of cool. But they're all in the room together, and they're outbidding each other on what someone is going to do. For example, this doctor, he's about to peel off this dude's face to put on some mannequin thing. And the choices were you feign the face skinned off, or power drill to the face. And the guy who wanted the face peeled off outbid the power drill guy. So it's basically like that, like a game show pretty much. But there's CGI in this, which looks really bad. Like, there's a cockroach scene, and it's obvious they're fake. And it's just one of the chicks that comes out to torture one of the people. She's in this like black metal mask and stuff. It looked kind of cool. I would say I do like this better than the second one, which I know I'm in the minority in thinking that, because a lot of people don't like this movie. But it did something different. I enjoyed it. I'd watch it over the second one again for sure. But yeah, that was my quick thoughts on the Hostel trilogy. It's actually one of my favorite trilogies. I love them. I just love the idea of them. Like I said, changed my life. So if you haven't seen these movies, definitely pick all three of them up. You could probably get all three of them for less than $20, $15. So yeah, just my quick thoughts on that. And one more thing. Me and my buddy BDG Reviews are starting a podcast, or we did start a podcast called Tumbling Podcast of Flesh. So go over to BDG Reviews and check out that, and I'll link his channel at the information of this video. So go over and check that out. So, alright guys, peace.